our third topic, and that's
All right.
the Dreamcast's 10th birthday. So 9/9/99, the Dreamcast was born. It hit the scene with a lot of hype with Soul Calibur, with some of the Virtual Fighter.
Soul Calibur.
I love, dude, don't even talk about Soul Calibur.
It brought some innovations. Let's talk about what innovations do you think that Dreamcast brought to the table that didn't exist before?
Controllers that hurt your hand. Sharp corners.
I'll agree.
Uncomfortable controllers.
The buttons did have very rigid impressions on them when you hit them quickly.
That's all I
chafed
remember.
your fingers.
I can't agree with this. People, the only people.
You can't agree with the 10th birthday?
No. I can't. There's always people that are like, oh, Dreamcast was so great. In retrospect, it really wasn't. Yes, it was a little ahead of its time. It had some cool things with the memory card, and they went in a lot of unconventional ways, which was really cool. But when it comes down to it, it's the games. And how many games? There's only a handful of games that you're going to mention for Dreamcast that were really good.
You have a handful of games that were good for Dreamcast?
I have
Soul
a handful
Calibur.
of
I'm not
games.
going to agree with that, so
Dude,
I'll give you that.
I have Soul Calibur, I
Terrible.
have Crazy Taxi, I
Okay,
had
Ready
Toy
to Rumble,
Commanders,
2 Sonic,
Ready
and
to Rumble
Fantasy
was-
Stars Online.
you
That's
know,
it.
I'm
Tennis
not even gonna
2K2, Power
Power
Stone.
Stone.
Virtua
Okay, Power
Tennis.
Stone. Good, awesome.
Power
it had-
Stone. See, and Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Come on,
Oh,
they're still
console.
playing
Legendary.
tournaments.
Capcom
That's on
versus
every
SNK2.
console.
Yeah.
Third
Nintendo
Strike.
64 had fucking
Street
4
Fighter Alpha
controllers,
3.
Who cares?
Alpha 3. It's the definitive version of Alpha 3 as far as I'm concerned. It's the
Yeah,
only
play with
version
that
out there
controller, you'd be
that
like,
has.
"God, what is my hand?
That's
I feel
what you
like I
have
got
arcade
stigmata."
controls for.
You don't have. There's aftermarket controllers, but yeah, I didn't use that. I bought a few aftermarket controllers.
Okay,
Right.
there are some games, but it's not gonna say this console was awesome because of that.
I'll tell you what else you had. You had 4 controller ports. You
Already
had
Nintendo 64.
you had removable memory cards, and I think there are 2 slots in that
Right in
controller,
front of you.
right?
You don't even have to get up to the
Yeah,
TV.
and you can play
pull-
Tamagotchi on them. Who
You had the
cares?
VMU with the Tamagotchi screen on
That
it,
was
with the LED
innovative.
screen on it, or the LCD screen. You had online play, built-in modem, built-in optional broadband
Typing
adapter.
of the Dead. Okay, great. You had that.
Typing of the Dead, so you had a keyboard and mouse, the ability to install Linux and some other operating
Okay,
systems
there
and
you
hack
go.
and scene things.
The main
You know
point
what, I
was
have to go get
you could
another
just burn the
Dreamcast.
discs. You could just burn the discs. That was the great
Okay,
part about
okay,
it.
so-
Piracy
Yes,
of it was so easy. You
yes.
didn't have to buy anything. You could purchase the Dreamcast and just burn the discs.
So that's what needs to
There
be
you go.
addressed. So did the whole strong pirate community contribute to the death of the Dreamcast, or do you think it prolonged the life of it? Because I know a lot of people who have it and have a lot of burned games, and probably only purchased it because they knew that they could burn the games.
Yeah, I think the piracy was kind of the downfall of it. I mean, there's people that don't want to pay for anything, and if they're not going to, they won't.
Those
And
people
it's-
just can't be changed.
And they're in other countries. I'm not going to say anything, but
They're in this country.
they're in this country. I'm not trying to point anybody out, but I just they had something really good and innovative, and by being able to just pirate it so easily, it just took it out.
What do you think? The piracy killed it, or the piracy
I don't
allowed
think
it
the
to
piracy
live?
killed. I think it did a little both. The thing is, you're always going to have people that are going to pirate things. So it doesn't matter. You can't do anything about it. But do you think all those people that pirated all those games were going to purchase those games anyway? No. They only pirated them because they were able to pirate them. So I know other people who have pirated the games who only pirated them because they could. It wasn't like they had these crazy book of games and they played every single one of them. They put them in once and said, great, I have this burned and I can play it now, and they put it away. So it wasn't like they were purchasing the games anyway. Most people who, yes, there are people who are going to pirate games, and they're going to pirate games no matter what, and they're probably not going to purchase that anyway. But people who are actually care about the industry, like myself, I'm going to purchase a game because I think the quality of it is good, and I'm going to support the developers that are making that game because I want more games from them. So if I'm going to pirate them, it's not really helping me any.
I guess I kind of have to give him a point because of that. Taking a stand for developers and publishers and more money
I agree.
going into the innovations that they contribute to the industry. So overall, thumbs up or thumbs down to the life of the Dreamcast? Do you think it's a despicable product or something worth 10 years later
I think
remembering?
when it was out there, you know, it kind of paved the way for the next gen because it jumped out in front, and then it let everybody else kind of sit back and say, oh, you know what, let's not do that, and let's not do that. So they took the hits and paved the way for the next
I'll
generation.
agree with that.
So I'll, you know what, I got to give them credit for doing that, and then they had to recede. But you know, it was good when it was out and when it was innovative. I had it when it first came out. I had a blast with it when it first came out, and even though that its lifespan was short, it was well worth it for me. And I didn't pirate anything; it was worth it.
Nice. You know where you will find the Dreamcast, and that's on IGN's top 25 consoles of all time list. and probably on one of the
25 consoles? Come on.
and
like
on
half
one
the
of the
history
other
of
many
gaming.
top 10 lists that are out on the internet now, and that's topic number 4. It's the top 10 list takeover.